So did you ever hear about or watch Inside the Actors Studio?
No.
Okay, so it's a really old show where it was an interview show for celebrities, kind of like a late night show, but not. It was in a college setting at the Pace University Theater School, and the guy would ask the same questions at the end of the show. James Lipton, who I'm a huge fan of, he passed away before COVID. So I took inspiration for those questions that he used to ask, and I made them specific to pet industry, pet people. So the first question is, what is your favorite breed?
My favorite breed?
Of any species. Of any species. Well, I mean, you're a dog person, so you're going to give me a dog, aren't you?
My favorite breed, terrier. Well, the terrier group.
Oh, nice. Why?
I know that's not a breed, but it's a group.
Fine.
Yeah.
What do you like about terriers?
They're just like me. They're the spunky ones. They're little and they're spunky and they're all personality.
I love it. What is your least favorite breed?
My least favorite breed is German Shepherd.
Interesting. Oh my God, I think they're so beautiful, but I don't think I'll ever have one again. Both my dogs are Hound Shepherd mixes. And I don't think I'll ever have a big dog like that again, but I think they're so gorgeous. What is it about them you don't like?
You know, it's funny because I had this discussion with a veterinarian friend of mine too. And the problem is because they're a working breed, the majority of people don't work them. And when you don't work a working breed, they become neurotic. And it's so sad, it breaks my heart that the majority of German Shepherds I come across are like, you know, and it's like, what is wrong with this dog? You know, they're not meant to be couch potatoes.
Yeah. So I'm nodding emphatically because I have a border collie. I have a border collie like that. And she is 1000% neurotic. And I say she's anxious. She's not anxious. She's bored. She needs a job. And my husband rescued her right before we met. Like I met that dog before I met my husband. Because I met him through one of his neighbors who was a friend of mine. And the other neighbor who had her, who decided he didn't want her anymore, I had met him before I met my husband. And so like one night we're all having a barbecue and I meet this beautiful border collie. And then like when I met my husband, he's like, oh, I have this dog. She's a border collie. And I'm like, I know that dog. That first owner just decided he didn't want her anymore, and Chris didn't want to see her. He's like, my husband is like a bleeding heart. Like he takes every pet in, right? So he's like, I didn't want to see her go to the shelter, even though in Northern Virginia, she would have been adopted like this, and she probably wouldn't have been like, you know what I mean? It's not an area where you worry about the shelters so much. But he took her in, and he didn't think that he works crazy long hours. He deploys. Right, like this is not the ideal dog for a person who doesn't have time to run her, to walk her, to like make her work. And
agility.
Listen, yes, she would like once. Okay, so she's my youngest dog, and at some point we're gonna have to say goodbye to the older two, and I'm gonna keep her a one dog, and I'm gonna do all that agility stuff with her, and I'm gonna give her in her senior years that attention and work that she needed all of this time that we just haven't been able to give her. But yeah,
please.
Yeah, she needs it. Okay, question: do your pets sleep in your bed?
Two of them. Two of them do.
Like, is it up to them, or do you just allow only two?
Pippy only allows one other dog. Pippy the Chihuahua stays in the bed. She has a large say in what happens.
So she's 5 pounds. How big are the others?
15.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, 3 times her size. Okay.
Yeah.
Who or what wakes you up in the morning?
Everyone we're all on the same clock.
Oh, nice.
So it's
very
the dogs.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, they know
all right.
It's breakfast time.
What is your most used training command or cue with your dogs? Oh, and they respond well to that?
Yeah.
You know, I do that to my son when I'm trying to get him to sleep and he's being like really loud and waking the baby. I'm like, and it works. All right. What about your least used?
Oh, I don't know.
Something you refuse to use. Something you don't use. You will not use.
I don't use air horns. I'm not loud.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of our guests, what her show just released now, they moved into a house where the dogs were barking too much. She has Aussie Shepherds, and she used an air horn, and one of them is completely traumatized. So yeah, air horns are tough, especially if you have a sensitive dog. It's not worth it. What pet related noise do you love?
Do I love?
Yes.
I don't know if I love them. I'm entertained when my dogs snore.
Yes, that's a popular answer. I was thinking that maybe you were gonna say the little growling I heard from Bosco earlier, because that was adorable. It was like this guttural growl. It was cute. What pet related noise do you hate?
The aggressive growls, the growls before something's about to pop off.
Do your dogs get along pretty well, or do you worry about that?
No,
okay.
They do.
Okay, good. What pet related profession other than author, other than professional pet sitter and business owner, would you like to have in the pet industry?
It's my eventual goal to own a canine retirement community.
I love that. And what does that mean? Just like a sanctuary for senior pets, or are there like activities?
It's a sanctuary for senior pets, but instead of calling it that, I call it a canine retirement community.
I love it. I'm envisioning like luau's for the dogs and like young children coming in for visits or whatever. It's just like, in retirement homes, that's what they do to keep the residents happy. What pet related profession would you not like to have?
Dog trainer.
Why is that?
Because Cesar Millan hit it right on the head when he said he trains people, he rehabilitates dogs. So it's much like I used to do personal training in the gym. It's near impossible to get people to do what they're supposed to do. So yeah, it's
frustrating, right? It's frustrating and maddening. Yeah. So you and I are very similar. Are you are you a Taurus?
I'm a Libra.
Y'all are not easy. But neither are Taurus. I'm a Taurus, and that we're not easy. But yeah, it's really hard for me. I'm like very frustrated by people like standing in their own way because I'm so self-motivated. But and as I get older, I understand that everybody's different and that I should not have the expectations that I have for myself for other people. But it is frustrating. It's frustrating because when somebody's not training their dog, they're not just affecting themselves, they're affecting the life of the pet or the cat or the people who are exposed to the dog on walks and the dog's reactive or whatever. So like there are other people suffering, not just the person. So I totally hear that. Last question, and this is where we get a little bit introspective. I call this part of the show Last Call because once you've been at the bar for a while, you make friends and you all start sharing your life stories. So here goes. If the Rainbow Bridge exists, who is the first pet to greet you when you arrive?
Pepper.
Tell me about Pepper.
Pepper's my first dog. And she was a terrier dachshund mix. She looked like a wire-haired terrier, black. And she was my soul dog. We could communicate. Like it was really special. Yeah. And she passed at like 15. She was diabetic. And she had developed a liver tumor. And so the combination of age, her diabetes, it just wasn't gonna be a good surgery. So
yeah. Oh man. So you do believe the Rainbow Bridge exists?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, Pepper will be there happy and young and carefree and not diabetic. She'll be in her prime.
Oh.
I would love to see a picture of her. If you have a picture, I would love, because my dream dog for the future is a Doxie, a long-haired Doxie.
If you open What About the Dog, open the book. Look at the dedication.
All right, I'm going to read it. To my very first dog, Pepper, who unknowingly changed my entire life. You are forever my soul dog. You are making me cry because my soul dog, I could write this to him and he's not going to be with us much longer. And like, for real, that is the most beautiful, spot on dedication, because it's so true that soul dog changes your life. And
do you see that picture?
You'll never be the same.
Wait, do you see the drawing? Okay, so I was in college and a girl asked me, well, I was sitting next to her, I said, do you want to see a picture of my dog? And she said, sure. And I didn't have a picture of my dog with me. So right on the spot, I scribbled that picture out.
Let me show it.
That's exactly what she looked like.
This is the picture of Pepper, and that's the dedication. Oh my gosh, it's so sweet. I love it so much. This has totally made my day. To my very first dog, Pepper, who unknowingly changed my entire life. I love it. It's true. Our dogs come in for very good reason. Our pets come in for very good reason, and they do change our lives in many cases. If it wasn't for Titan, I wouldn't have started my business. I wouldn't be in the pet care industry.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Pepper, I wouldn't have been in the pet care industry.
How did she make you start? How did she inspire you? If you have time, I just want to know.
Her and her sister Nikita, who was a miniature pinscher, I didn't know anything about, when you're a brand new dog owner, you don't know anything about anything. And I was going to school, I'm trying to work. I was like, they can't be alone, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I opened a doggy daycare boarding facility because of them.
That is amazing. Yeah, that's the same thing that happened with Titan. I was working corporate America, super long hours. I needed to find a dog walker in Northern Virginia, which I assumed was going to be really easy. They never called me back. And I'd been in sales. I'd been doing pet sitting for fun. And I was like, I can do this better and I will call people back. And I did it better. And I called people back for almost 13 years until COVID hit. So yeah, these pets, man, they come in and they totally send you in the direction you're supposed to be going. Because I do believe, and based on what I know of you, I do believe we're in the industry that we're supposed to be in.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to spend your morning with me and share your stories with me. I really enjoyed it. And I wish you nothing but the best in this and everything that you do related to pets, because I know that you're doing it for all the right reasons.
Thank you. I appreciate it.